Hello everybody. I'm going to show you how to do review some of the selection techniques and show you how to do transformations and kind of get you started on what to do with the next project. Right here I have an image that I found online. I found it on Google Images, and I'm going to prepare it to make some selections within it. I'm going to paint inside of those selections and I'm going to drag them over to another document. From there I'm going to show you how to make some transformations with it and show you how to make a work of art. Okay? I've also got some other things over here that I might work with as well. Back to Photoshop. First thing that I need to do, and this is review, so I'm going to go quickly. If this is too fast for you, watch those other 3 videos that I posted earlier. I'm going to make it black and white. I'm going to use curves to make it high contrast. I guess I'm not going to use curves. Here we go. Image, adjustments, curves to make it high contrast. I want to make it as high contrast as possible, eliminating much of the white and eliminating much of the gray and leaving mostly black and white. This is good. I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to make a selection. Select color range. I'm going to select the black areas, make a new layer, and I'm going to paint inside of it. Yes, I know I moved fast, but once again, all of this information is in the previous videos. If that was too fast for you, you need to rewatch those videos. Paint inside of it. Deselect is Control D. And there I go, I've got my image painted. I'm going to erase into it a little bit because I don't want to keep all of this stuff. I'm going to erase this little part here. Erase this little part here. You can erase this little part here. There we go. Now I've got my image that I want to work with. I'm going to make a new document, File, New, and I'm going to make it tall rather than wide. So I'm going to make it about 4,000 high and make it about, I don't know, 2,000 wide. That looks good. Yeah, that'll be fine. I want to drag this image over to the other document, and I can do that in one of two ways. I can see the layers palette from this image that I just painted and drag the layer over and drop, or I can get the Move tool, which is the tool at the top of the toolbar here. It looks like a little cross with an arrow next to it, and I can click and drag and move that layer over. There we go. Those are the 2 ways of doing it. So now I've got this in here. But you'll notice this image is really, really big. Dock this again. This image is really big, way bigger than my canvas. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And you can see when I'm on the Move tool here, if I have Show Transformation Controls selected, see this little checkbox? Make sure that's selected. I can see this thing that's called the bounding box. The bounding box allows me to make things bigger and smaller and rotate them, do all kinds of transformations. To make things smaller, I can grab on any one of these handles and drag. So I'm making it a lot narrower. I can drag and make it shorter. I can click on the corners and scale it up and down by the diagonal. So there are a lot of different things I can do for that. I can rotate it if I want to. Maybe I'll have it rotated upside down. There we go, that's fine. So now I've got this image over here in my new document, but it's not quite right. I'm going to go back and forth between Move tools and transformations to transform it to be the way I want it to be. I don't like this part down here. I want just this arch part. So what I might do is use my transformations to stretch it so that this part down here gets off of the screen. Edit, Transform. Under Edit, Transform is where you're going to find all of our transformations. Transformations will make the image bigger and smaller, it'll rotate it, it'll skew it. In other words, you can pick a corner and move just that corner. You can do perspective, where you can make the things that you can pinch in one side and make those look like they're smaller and further away. I can do all kinds of things. So I'm just going to experiment a little bit with it. I'm going to start with scale. Scale allows me to click on any of these little handles and drag on them. And I did that just a minute ago. And I'm going to keep it just like that. Once my actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drag this one off of the edge there as well. Once my transformations are complete and they are the way I want them to be, I click on this checkbox up at the top. This checkbox here, where you can see my cursor, makes a transformation permanent. There we go. So it completed that transformation. Next thing that I want to do, I want to experiment with, I don't know, let's see, skew. What happens if I grab just one corner? See, I can grab this corner and it is going to kind of stretch things a little bit. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll drag this one in just a little bit. Drag that one over again. Move it. There we go, that looks good. Drag this up just a little bit. There we go. That's how I want it. Okay, so I've got this triangle that's kind of pointing to the left side of my document. I want to use this twice. I want to have this duplicated. Now, duplicating layers is going to be an essential part of this next project. To duplicate layers, you come over to the Layers palette and you can right-click on a layer and choose Duplicate Layer. Or you can grab a layer and drag it down to the New Layer button and it'll duplicate it. Either way will duplicate it. So I've got a duplicate of that layer. I've got two of the same thing. But I want to flip one of them. That's a transformation. Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. I've also got Flip Vertical. Flip Horizontal. And then I'll move it into place. There, I kind of like it right like that. So it's a mirror image of the other one. Okay, so those are just a few of the transformations. There's flip horizontal, flip vertical, there's skew, there's scale. Let's try some other ones. I'm going to find another image. Here we go. Bring this over to the new document. Zoop. Now it's really, really tiny. This picture was only 600 pixels high. So in comparison to the other, it's really tiny. So I might need to stretch it up a little bit. Rotate it with the move tool in the bounding box. You can see it's getting kind of pixely. That's not so good. Commit it. Once you commit it, it clarifies itself as best as it can. Photoshop is a pretty smart piece of software and it's going to do its best to make the image clear. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. Edit, Transform, Warp. Warp allows me to grab these little handles and pull my image all over the place. To make it kind of curvy if I want to. There we go, that looks pretty good. There, that's better, that's what I want. And then I will complete that transformation. Maybe I'll make a duplicate of it, flip it horizontally, so I've got one on each side. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then I'm done for now. This is by no means a completed project. I'll probably spend hours and hours and hours perfecting this. I'm going to show you some other tutorials later on next week that are going to demonstrate how to make these interesting, giving them a sense of depth and texture. But this is how we start. I'm starting by making a visual dynamic that's going to move the eyes downward fast. And I'm using all these lines to do so. Pretty soon I'm going to have to figure out how to work shape in there to give it a sense of rhythm as well. But I'm going to leave it here for now. What I demonstrated, what you saw, were some of the transformations and duplicating layers. Transformations are all under Edit, Transform, and you can experiment with any of these transformations. Duplicating layers, you could either right-click on a layer and duplicate, or drag the layer down to the new layer button to make a duplication. These are all the skills that you are going to need to use to start Project 2. I hope this video helped. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I get back.